So what do you think about this the Bills or I'm sorry, the Eagles Ravens game?
Man, I think this is going to be a kind of a heavyweight bout here. I think two solid teams. We've talked in previous videos. They're kind of mirror images of each other. They got a mobile quarterback. They got stud running backs. They got good O lines. I think the edge for sure is that the Eagles' defense is a little bit better than Baltimore. I think Baltimore still ranks pretty low in terms of their pass defense. But it's crazy. The Ravens are favored, even though Eagles have a better record. They're playing better. They have an overall better roster altogether. I was surprised that the Ravens are actually favored in this game. So,
You know
um,
why?
tell me.
It's because of the Eagles. The Eagles are who we thought they were. They they just like to me it's been 3 years of this where it's like damn, people are gonna think I'm just like an Eagle hater. I actually like the Eagles people, but the Eagles are like, this is just what they do, man. Like they beat up on teams that they're supposed to beat up on. Sometimes they lose to them, and when like the rubber really needs to meet the road, they don't deliver. And so Las Vegas is saying they're probably not gonna deliver. That's what it is. Like, dude, this like all these odds and all this stuff, like this is like very like well thought out, very sophisticated stuff, right? Like Vegas knows something.
Yeah,
And
I
what they
agree. I
know
mean,
is that these guys always shit the bed when they need to perform.
I think Vegas wants a lot of action on the underdog here on the Eagles to cover. But I got Eagles. Eagles are playing too well. Saquon's playing fantastic. Their O line is good. They've really cut down Hurts in that offense. I think that the Eagles are head and shoulder. The only advantage Baltimore has is they have a superior coach. Nick Sirianni is a dunce, bro. I can't stand looking at his face. Ever since he
He's
shaved his
such
head,
he's such a klutz.
yeah,
And
he's so
and
useless, man.
big plus, Ravens have Roquan Smith back. I can't
Oh.
highlight enough how big that is.
That's true. I forgot he was out last game, but I didn't realize he was back this week. But
Yeah, he's
that'll be
healthy.
good
He's
because
gonna be fine.
Saquon is, I mean, he's a potential MVP candidate, which would be the first time a non-QB's won it
Yeah.
since Adrian Peterson. I think
And
it's
I desperately need him to bust this week.
you're playing him this week.
You desperately need him to play because he has this thing where if he's not, and they're not, the Ravens are not the Rams, they're not going to let him bust off 140 yards in 2 plays on them, right? But when it gets down to the goal line, it's tush push all the way, right? So
Yeah,
we can get hopefully get some take some soup and say take some touchdowns off of the board for him. And that's kind of what success looks like for the Ravens, I think, to me, is I'm not too concerned about Jalen Hurts going over the top. I'm concerned about what's happening at the line of scrimmage and right beyond
yeah,
it. So if the Ravens can control the line of scrimmage and force Jalen Hurts to improvise, move around, and beat them with his arm, is that not what every team tries to do with Lamar?
yeah.
So who better than the Ravens to be able to counteract and use that same strategy to their benefit? And if apples to apples. Like I'm starting to trust Lamar's arm more than um
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts' arm. So
Here's the only thing: the big advantage that Hurts has is he has AJ Brown, Devontae Smith on the outside compared to
Devontae
Zay
Smith
Flower.
is doubtful.
Okay, and then you got Jahan Dotson or Greg Calcaterra or whoever the hell that is.
Grant Calcaterra,
Greg Calcaterra, sorry.
sir.
I got
I
Greg
think
Dulcich.
I think Doug Goddard is injured as well potentially.
Oh,
So they are a little bit banged up.
okay. Yeah. So again, AJ Brown's still better than everyone else. So that the Ravens had. So that's a huge advantage. And I love the corners for the Eagles. They've been playing real well. I think the only advantage on defense the, is Kyle Hamilton's a stud. But
Can I give you another one?
yeah,
Brandon Graham tore his tricep out for the season.
yeah, that's tough.
That's
But
that's pretty tough, dude.
I mean, Jalen Carter's playing like a beast, a beast.
Jalen
They
Carter is. I didn't think about that. Like him with Derrick Henry on the other side, like that's going to be kind of interesting.
yeah, I want to see them meet in the hole. So let's see what happens. Give me a quick prediction. Let's do that.
Um, I'm going to say it goes 31 to 24 Ravens.
Ooh, so you have the Ravens covering. I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with the Eagles 34, Ravens 27. I just think
Over under 110 yards for Saquon.
over. They I think he breaks one. I think it won't be a great it'll look misleading. I think he'll have a lot of 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 yard rushes, but then he'll break one and have like a 50-yard run or something like that to bring his average up and total box score up. But I think the Ravens have a good run defense, but
Here's a
once a
here's
game he
a
breaks it.
here's a self-serving prediction. I predict 3 touchdowns for AJ Brown.
Oh, you'd love that, wouldn't you? You need it. You need it after playing
Seven
Keenan Allen this
seven
week. You need
receptions
it.
for 76 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Oh,
That
I mean,
sounds
I got
fantastic.
3 receptions and 2 touchdowns from Jaden Reed this past week, so
That
I
was
was happy
amazing.
with that one.
That was
But
amazing.
let's pivot to the Sunday night, where I got some vested interest in the Niners at the Bills.
Why do you have
Lots
vested
of
interest in it? It doesn't mean
the
anything for you guys.
it does, man. We got to keep pace with Kansas City after their fluke win over Las Vegas tonight.
Dude, you ain't gonna get the buy. You should just give up on that. It's not gonna happen. They
Hey,
have
they
God
have
on their
Houston.
sides. They have Donald Trump on their side.
Yeah,
They
that's
have
true,
America's referees.
man.
Dude, you ain't gonna get the number one spot, bro. Just enjoy the rest of your just like
Hey,
4 or 5 years. Why stress? Just relax, bro. Just watch these games, enjoy them, and just know that you got to go out there and handle business week one of
see, the
playoffs.
only problem is, oh, not problem. So here's the way I've like looked way ahead of the future here. If the Bills beat Detroit, I think they can get the bye. If um, I think Chiefs lose to either Houston or Pittsburgh. They're on one of those.
Houston,
Yeah, I think Houston they have the potential to play a good game. They haven't played a good game, but they have the potential to play a good game. And the Chiefs play this crazy schedule where they have 3 games in 10 days or something like that.
we wouldn't,
That's
we
tough.
wouldn't. Did you say Steelers?
Steelers, yep. Christmas
We would
Day.
never hear the end of Mr. Unlimited if he beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Like Russell Wilson would legit become a thing again, and you would hate that, wouldn't you?
I would hate that. I can't stand Russell Wilson, man. He's so fake.
Uh,
He's just so
but
annoying. I can't
on the
stand it.
plus side, for you, myself, Bilal, some of our other buddies, I'm sure Obaid could appreciate this. I know Saad would. You guys can play spoiler for the Niners. Like you
Oh
can
man.
wreck their
Yep.
playoff hopes. You can crush them this weekend.
We could put
So
a
just
nail in
know
that coffin. Yep.
that roughly 50% of California's population is counting on you guys to
Pretty
shut these
much
guys up finally.
75% of our league, probably our fantasy league is kind of rooting for it. But I
And
mean,
despite what
look,
I've said, I predict that if
don't do it.
no, 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 I predict that if you guys squash them and end their playoff run this year, that's the end of this iteration of the Niners. I don't think they win next year if they can't make it this year.
That's tough. I mean, they have a lot of injuries this year. Bosa's out, Trent Williams out, Purdy's questionable, Lenore's out. Their other left guard is out. Obviously, Ayuk. They decided
At some
not
p-
to
at
activate
some
Greenlaw.
at some point, to me, Ayuk is the only one that stands out. His was the only one that was a freak incident. You can point to a time, a place, exactly when it happened, and say that's why it happened. Most of the rest of these guys, it's just what they do. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
Bosa's
mean?
hurt.
Like,
Williams gets
Bosa's
hurt.
always
Yeah,
hurt, Kittle's always hurt, CMC's always hurt. And then as far as like the secondary, like, have you ever seen a more prone to injury defense than the Niners? Then every
yeah,
year you can count on the Niners. Did you see this thing that Fred Warner has a fracture in his ankle or something like that?
yep,
It at some point you have to look at like the athletic trainers, et cetera. Like
yeah.
the
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 strength
Lakers
coach
had
got to
that,
go,
right?
bro.
The Lakers had that same thing. You and we did. We parted with um a good portion of like the supplementary people, like strength and conditioning, like I think some medical people a few years ago. But it's been the same thing for us ever since Gary Vitti left. Like we haven't been able to keep, there's been trends. And so when an organization has those trends, I think it's fair to look around and see, okay, what is this one off or is this just par for the course? So I'm predicting the same shit happens next year, basically.
I
And,
think
and
I
and I
th
think
they,
it's worth monitoring Brock Purdy's shoulder, arm, elbow. Like this is starting to become a thing already, and he's only been in the league a couple years, 3 years.
yeah. I mean, he is smaller. I mean, he's 6'1", like 200 pounds. But you
He's
know,
taken a pounding this year.
uh, bro, pause, pause for sure. No. But yeah, I mean, I think look, I think the Niners have a tough call to make. I think Jed York's got to figure out, is this a injury riddled season where you kind of throw it out of the window and see what happens, or and kind of run it back with Kyle, or you're like, look, this is happening too much. It's just underperforming. This was a Super Bowl hangover. The coach just didn't get it done, and kind of new voice in the locker room and start new. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna start off with a prediction here. I think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be pretty, to be honest. I hate jinxing myself here, but I think it's gonna be cold and snow. I say 24-13 Buffalo.
Is it
Just
snowing?
because it's going to be snowing. I think it's like 3 to 5 feet of snow is falling right now. I think during game time it's supposed to be a little bit better, but there's going to be wind. Um, Purdy don't got the arm for the wind, bro. He's going to get some balls that float on him, that sail on him a little bit, that just die in the wind. And Josh just got engaged today, bro. So I think that he's gonna be playing for the his new fiance.
What happened to the last quarterback that got engaged mid-season?
Who's that?
Didn't you see the Dak memes earlier this year? The only ring Dak is ever
Oh
gonna get.
no.
Yeah, there's a meme of like it started off as a very nice picture. He was at the golf course with his girlfriend and he gets on one knee and proposes. I think he actually did it in the off season. Um, but yeah, then of course the memes ensued because the internet
Yeah.
trolls are undefeated, and the fucking the meme that like prevailed was Dak realizing this is the only ring he's ever gonna get.
Oh
Well, that's
man.
good. That's good. I I think that this might be the only ring that Josh Allen
No, man.
gets.
Let's not do that. I think it's gonna be two rings this year. I think props to, congrats to Josh and I think
You guys
Haley
ain't winning the Super
Stanfield.
Bowl with that squad that you have out there, dog. Like, I'm
And I
sorry, you
think
just
they're gonna
Khalil
bring it home this year,
Shakir.
bro. They're gonna bring it home. I didn't have hope in the beginning of the season, but I think they're
It,
coming together. They're
it
getting
would be kind of
healthier.
cool. It would be kind of like poetic. It could be kind of cool if Amari Cooper finally landed in his like forever home, like the abandoned puppy finally finds his forever home and like finds someone that loves him and nurtures him and takes care of him, and he rewards them by going out there and winning them a Super Bowl. Like that would be kind of poetic.
Yep.
But it ain't gonna happen.
All right. All right, man. Good stuff. Let's see how this weekend for. Oh, let me get your prediction for Sunday night.
Yeah, I'm gonna say ugly game. I'll say 20-12 Bills.
20-12. Four field goals in the win with a backup
Yeah.
kicker. All right, man. We'll see what
Um,
happens.
I was actually I was thinking about streaming Tyler Bass.
Dope.
Yeah, is it really gonna be windy?
I think so. I think it's going to
Can
be
you pull up the
windy.
prediction, the weather real quick? Let's look
Yeah.
at the forecast. I might have to alter that because
Let's
they were
see.
saying that the Packers game was gonna be snowy, which is why I benched Jordan Love, and it was like a barely a dusting.
29 degrees.
Oh,
I'm just pulling up. 1 to 2 feet of snow. Wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour.
okay. New prediction. Um, 6-14 Bills.
I think there'll be a couple missed extra points in there, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, 14 gives you two James Cook touchdowns, maybe a James Cook touchdown and a Josh
Two
Allen
point com.
rushing touchdown. And then the Niners will have a CMC touchdown and missed extra point because Jake
All
Moody's
right.
been doing that this year.
All right, man.
All
Good
right,
stuff. Let's see
cool.
how this weekend falls out. All right, man. Have a good weekend.
All right.